And we're going, guys. Thank you. Welcome back to another Life with Lenoci. We are doing another episode. Here we are, and we got an exciting week ahead of us. We got a lot of things in the oven, brewing, cooking, baking, and we're going to eat them. But first, let's start with our breath. Our breath work is very important to the soul. Without breath, you can't survive, and that's why it's so important. Everybody work on your breath this week, breathing in and out. Simple as you do normally. But you know what's crazy about breath is you can play with breath and it can have an effect on your well-being. And that is fascinating. So, I'm no expert, but you work on breathing, it can change your whole mood in a day. And all it takes is breathing in slower and exhaling slower, and also feeling good and closing your eyes. And breath work is very important. These are things I've learned throughout life. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'm probably older than you. Let's be honest. I'm probably older, and I'm probably a little wiser. I would say listen, if you're listening to this podcast, it's all pure wisdom, 100% knowledge coming out of this podcast. And breath work is very important. And, that's something we want to work on. I work on it. And when I do it the most is when I'm in the car and I get road rage. I'm very mad and I go, you know what? We're going to get where we're going. Unless, of course, some freak shit happens, which we just saw. It was the saddest thing we ever saw in LA. But we're not going to go there because we're in positive mindset. But breath work is very important. And we want everyone to breathe and we want everyone to work on the breath. And it's crazy because breath... You need breath. Everybody needs a breath of fresh air and everybody needs to breathe. It's all hand in hand and it's not even cryptic. You just need to know that you could do 10 minutes a day of breathing exercises and you'll be healthier. You could avoid cancer. There's studies out there somewhere where you could avoid cancer. So we're working on breath work and that's where we're going to lead with this episode as we have the music fade out. But welcome back. Welcome back. And guys, I said 4 weeks in a row of emails. I'll shave my face and cut my hair. This is the third week in a row with an email. And guess what? I already got another email, so I know we're getting fourth in a row. So I got to cut my hair and face. I was hoping that it was going to be really long, and I didn't even send it to him. And he's looking at his phone, and that's my bad. And that's my bad on my part because sometimes we all mess up, okay? We all mess up, and here's what we're going to do. We are going to screenshot it and text it over to the producer as we speak, and I did it that quickly. That's how fascinating technology is. And you see that little breath work I did right there for you? That's why we are in a good mood and we are helping each other out. And guess what? I didn't even pre-read that email, so I don't even know what's going on. I just know that we have one for this week and one for next week, and there's a lot of emails in my email box because things are getting blown up in the comment section on my thing. You know what I mean? On my YouTube. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Mark. Sorry about that. I was a little either way. Either way, we are the power of breath. We got that in. And then also continue to write in, guys. I will get to your emails each week. And we'll kind of do the emails. I think we're going to start doing the emails at the end of the episode. We'll do them at the beginning. Yes, we'll do them at the beginning. You can email at lenoci.michael@gmail.com before we get into the heavy stuff, which we're excited about because it's working. We've been working on it the last 2 weeks and something hit. And before we get to the cake, we're going to have dinner first. Okay. That's what we're doing, guys. We're going to have dinner first, and that's the emails, and that's helping out other people with their own problems. And maybe if Mark has problems, we don't know, but that's what we're going to do before we get to the clickbait stuff. Because boy, did we have a fun week, and we're gonna get into it. So let's start with the write-ins first. What do we have, Mark? Are you happy? Are you excited that it worked?
I was so enraged
during. But while you're in on it, here's what I did realize: when we get into the clickbait stuff and we do the fake ones today, I actually need you to be that way, like to play, like to.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, but you didn't give me any warning. You were just making declarations like you normally do.
Sure, but now you need to I think that helped when you were like, my brother's an architect. Like, I think that helped because it made it more realistic.
Okay.
So we'll kind of do it a little bit.
But I'm happy to argue with you.
But then I have to have a little of the rant so I can clip it. So don't jump in too much, but we'll figure it out. We'll play with it, but everybody's going to be behind the scenes because this is what we're going to be doing. Because this is fucking fascinating because I did it twice last week and both of them, people are mad in the comments and it just shows how crazy and fucking pissed off this world is. I mean, we're talking about stupid, non-important things. Again, we'll get into that, but let's first see who we got to help this week. Again, email lenoci.michael@gmail.com and we will... What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing. Were you not able to get Michael Lenoci?
No,
You did last name first?
Yeah, man. One's a business one, and who knows what my other ones are. Okay, I don't want fucking... Maybe don't reveal shit, huh? Idiot.
Well, most people have their first and last name.
Yeah, I have that, man. But I don't want people fucking writing that in. So I have a second one. You loser. God.
Hilarious.
What an asshole, dude.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay. Ruth Fan writes in.
What? You're not supposed to say a goddamn name.
That's not a real name.
Oh. Okay, careful. It's anonymous.
That's not a real name.
Are you sure?
100% is not a real name.
All right, but don't ever do that again.
Okay.
What if that was?
It's not a real name.
Okay, fine.
Hello.
Hello.
You spoke about growing up yelling when you're angry. I
Yes.
happen to shut down. Are you going to let me finish or are you just going to be chiming in during?
You know what? We're not going to get angry because I've been taking breath work classes.
Okay. Yeah. How about you breathe right now and I'll do this. So you spoke about growing up yelling when you're angry. I happen to shut down when people yell at me. I immediately cut off ties with people who raise their voice at me. You mentioned that you learned how to change. What made you come to the realization that your communication style needs to be modified?
When the love of my life says I'll leave you if you don't change. It's that simple. When you hit a brick wall and you're like, well, if I don't change, my life will drastically change. Or the worst thing that will happen, I think that's when you know you've met the one, right? When you're willing to do things that you normally thought you would never do for anyone, right? We all are selfish to a point, and then you realize, oh, I don't care about that stuff anymore, or I'm willing to go above and beyond to show that you care about someone. And also identifying your flaws. I think that's a part of it. Like I wasn't in denial. If I was with a friend and we would argue and I would get, obviously I was always the guy, and there's a lot of guys like this, but I could be the guy who would raise my voice and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like get a little bit more heated. I knew that that's not a great quality, but I also knew that I was expressing how upset I was. So then that's, I think the first step is identifying that it is a problem, right? And that goes with addiction and any other problems that people have, right? I mean, Mark, what's a problem you have that you would be able to we could experiment right now. Listen, nobody is perfect. So what's something right now that you could be like, okay, this is something I should work on. Let's just see what he says. Oh, wow.
On the spot? I need a minute.
This guy thinks he's perfect. See, and that's the problem with this world.
I don't think I'm perfect at all.
Do you think it's relationship based or, how about this? We don't have to be specific maybe about your personality. I mean, if you want me to broaden it for you to make it easier, anxiety, anger, stress. What are some of those things do you not do well with?
I could actually do better about getting back out on my nightly walks to reduce anxiety.
Okay, so
I know the tool. I'm just not providing myself the time that I should.
So, okay. So what it is anxiety. So what you're saying, I could work on my anxiety. That's what you mean. And what you do to work on your anxiety is your own thing. But for the audience, obviously he goes on these walks, but that wasn't necessarily, you do what you have to do if you're listening, but he's identifying that he's not working at himself to work on his stress. So whatever it is with you, if you shut down every time someone yells, well, is she asking why she shuts down or how does she get better at not shutting down? Because it's okay if you shut down.
They're asking, how did you realize, which you answered?
Oh yeah.
But then they're asking like, how do you do it?
Yeah. I mean, well, now I do it because in therapy, I think just the therapist giving me those notes of being like, people argue in different languages, or like, someone might, if I went home and I yell and I argue with my sister, we're both going to yell. and that's how we battle. And sometimes it doesn't get resolved. So it's not even good. And there's been times when I've, you know, tried different angles. I don't know. But I mean, like, I think the first part is identifying it. And that's what it is. But I don't think if you shut down when someone yells at you, that could be from trauma too. And that's okay that you do that, because it's not right that somebody is yelling at you too.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you resolved Thanksgiving with your sister?
What do you mean?
You guys were fighting over a cruise?
No, that was like a playful text thing.
Oh.
That was never like a fight thing. And that was that for Thanksgiving? No, that was for after Christmas. I was like, I'm not going on a cruise. But like, that was like, that's playful. No. Yeah.
That was an intense text.
You think, so then there you go. You think my family has intense texting?
Yeah.
No, I mean, they knew I was being a character by being mad about it. So I and again, like something about something that Haley does a lot. She works on herself. Like she has her own shit, but she works constantly hard on her mental well-being and her anxiety. She deals with a lot, and she does float tanks. She does breathwork classes. I'm lying up top. I have not done a breathwork class. I'm just taking from what she told me. And this is the real part of the podcast, by the way. This part is authentic. But the part up top, I just think it's funny to be one of those guys. But like knowing what she's told me about breathwork class, I'm like, I get it. I could take it, and I can sit there and say to myself, okay, take a deep breath. And I did that today in the car when I was kind of like in traffic. And then also, there are little things like, you ever walk around Pacific Palisades Park, right on Ocean in Santa Monica, right there. There was a lady, we're walking around there in Santa Monica, and there's a lady, she's got all these bowls and she's doing a sound bath, right? And we just sat down next to her, and we laid down and we looked up in the sky, and we chilled for 20 minutes while she played. And then she kind of like finished, and we got up and we looked at her, and we just were like, and she's like, have a good one.
Did you tip her?
No. I was like, I wonder if we have to give her money, because she's just doing it for herself. Like, and we were just walking by and we're like, let's just sit here and enjoy.
But there wasn't like a hat or a box that's like a donation.
I don't think she was. I think she just does it for herself, but welcomes, people like that are not. I'm sure they would be. I'm sure if you were like, here's 100, she'd be like, oh, thank you. Maybe.
Just like Spider-Man on Hollywood Boulevard.
Way different though.
Wants his photo taken all the time.
But that guy's totally different. Mark making a bad joke right now when we're being authentic and serious, and that's making me mad. So I'm going to do this. But obviously, those guys are a scam on Hollywood Boulevard, and they're fucking druggies and alcoholics. This is someone who's like at peace. And probably like she would take it, but she didn't have a hat, and she probably does it all the time. Like on like every night, there's these older guys playing the band, and people just kind of sit and watch them, and they probably just are loving it because they're retired people. Dude, Santa Monica's the best. It really is the most peaceful place in LA. Is there a peacefuler place? Probably not. For what LA is, probably not.
Probably Bel Air.
But it's not peaceful there. It's probably just stressed rich people. Like, I gotta get somewhere. I got to go somewhere, like fucking, it's very whatever. Okay, so let's get to business, guys. Again, write in if you have issues. We will talk about them, and we'll work through them for you and get you through them, and it will be awesome. Again, check out the email. It's written there in the info. And if you're listening, leave a 5-star review. If you're watching, like and subscribe and comment. Whatever you want, get the algorithm going, go watch the previous episodes. But to be honest, starting maybe the last 2 weeks, now we're hitting a groove. And when you start new podcasts, this is a thing in comedy. This is if you've been following me for a while, this is like my 5th podcast, but you kind of hit a groove and you find it. And we've been sitting here going back and forth, and it's been feeling good. But now I feel very inspired and very excited because I got something. I feel like this is fun. And we, last week, I think I did a little bit the week before, but it was with like emotional stuff. Like sometimes I'll be doing these rants that I know it's kind of fictional. But last week I did it hardcore with, I did a bit where we talked about how Greeks started architecture, and Mark fell for it and got very mad. But then I told him while I was doing it, hold on, I got to do this for the bit. And then at the end we did another one about how South Africa comes from Australians who settled in, which is not right at all. I have no idea, to be honest. I just made it up. And I think it's funny, but we knew we were going to clip these things. And this whole thing is a social experiment, really, because on the internet, I learned maybe a month ago, I was talking to some social media guys, and I was also reading something online. It's like most of the things that go viral online are people arguing in the comments, is why it makes it go viral, because there's so much constant algorithm attention on that video, and also like a crazy video too. Because people are like, oh my God, this is so horrible. I hope they're okay. Like stuff like that will make things go too. So either like a very graphic, horrible video, or people arguing where it's split down the middle, or they're very mad about someone's point of view on something. So that's what we kind of did. And then we put out feelers. And last week, the clip about the Greeks who started architecture, that one blew up. As of right now, we are at let me double check. It is at 136,000 views. 136,000 views on a 1-minute clip. And we are going to go through some of the top comments, because this is for us, guys. And then we're going to get into 2 more clickbaits that we're going to rant about this week. But I pinned one. Which was in favor for me, just so people could see it later. And then, but let's go back to the top liked comments that are not pro me. When you argue about something you know absolutely nothing about. 225 likes for that one. Here we go. This one's, I'm an architecture student, and although the Greeks were incredibly influential, this guy has no clue what he is talking about. Architecture has been around for 10,000 years by the time the Greeks came about. Does that make you feel good, Mark? You're kind of happy.
I don't have to feel good. I know I'm right.
And that one's got 39 replies. We could go to the replies. One guy goes, the Greeks did create marble, though. It's literally only found in the region of the world. So absolutely, they had the use of it first. I was just joking about that, too. Is that real? Oh, this guy goes, no, it's not. There is marble all over the world. Yes, percentage most is in Spain, Italy, China, India, but there are so many more places. So now these people are arguing.
There's a marble discussion.
Now these people are arguing with each other. Agree. This guy bases his argument from his own chosen facts. Yeah, dude, you get it. Okay, let me go back to some of the top like comments. Ready? Oh, I guess he thinks the pyramids are just triangles sitting in the middle of nowhere. When you find out you have Greek DNA, and then we have another one. When he realizes a museum is a collection of artifacts Greeks stole from other cultures, especially Egypt.
My dog.
You like that one?
He gets it.
And then this one's got 63 likes. This guy looks like he's been through multiple divorces. I like that one.
Yeah, it's
I
the
like
beard.
That. You know what it is? I say that on stage. So you're welcome for that bit. Greeks definitely weren't as high as you, my guy.
That's a stretch.
Yeah. There's just, I want to see more very angry. I'm going to try to find an angry one.
You know what I like most is that when you're trying to read silently, your lips move.
Dude, wow, got some kind of obsession with the Greeks. Okay, we can see the influence, but pyramids aren't made of mud, and it ain't architecture. We must disagree on definition of architecture.
Wait,
Yeah.
What does mud have to do with it?
I don't know, because I said it. I don't know. Did I say that part? Bro, this video keeps circulating. They're going to be those few scholars that shut this guy down with his ego. I mean, could you imagine?
Oh no,
if this
not
gets
a scholar.
Could you imagine though if this gets reshared by? But the thing is, before people like high up do stuff like that, they click on a channel, they would investigate and be like, whoa.
Yeah, I can't wait
fucking
till
with
like
a comedian.
Neil deGrasse Tyson reacts.
But he wouldn't, because his camp would look at it first and be like, this is a guy doing a fucking thing.
Yeah, but he'd still do it for the bait.
Yeah. Okay. So so that's that one. That one's very funny. Go check that out. That's on YouTube Reels, by the way. So, but if you're watching on YouTube, you could just go to the Reels and you could pull that one up. Obviously, there's a TikTok account with this that I'm trying to build, and I also post on the Instagram. The Instagram one has less arguments, so that's why I'm kind of reading the YouTube ones. But wherever the arguments come in, whether it's going to be on Instagram, TikTok, or because I assume we're going to get some good TikTok ones eventually, and that's going to really get people, especially this week, because this week I'm going to go a little like where it pulls some heartstrings with people, and then and then also, but the YouTube ones go too.
Just don't go full Alex Jones.
No, I'm not gonna say something about like a school shooting. That's
Okay.
fucked up, dude. That even gets me boiled with what's going on with
Good.
him.
Good.
I mean, I think now he's admitting like, okay,
Well, he had to like slightly admit that he was like, no, I know it's not real, and it's like, then why are we here?
Yeah, like why are you doing it? Because maybe, well, no, because I the thing is, I think he really did think it wasn't real at one point.
No.
You think he was always just doing it for the clickbait?
100%. Because the previous lawsuits, he admitted, oh, this is all an act.
Huh. Well, if he can prove it's an act, then why can he get in trouble for that?
Because he goes so hard at it and profits off it.
Then that's also disgusting. Then
yeah, no, it's 100% disgusting.
Because
but there's a few of those.
It's fine if you do that with 9/11. You know what I mean? Because that is a questionable thing there, or JFK. But when you do a fucking children dying, that's fucked up.
Yeah, there's a line.
Also, it's like why didn't anyone just look? Here's the fucking photos. Like, if you want to get really fucked up with
No,
it.
people did.
And
no, but he just
like
stands.
The crime photos, like have the fucking cops be like, does this look fake to you, you fucking asshole?
Oh, 100%. But he just digs his heels in.
If that's the case, that's fucked up. All right, so then the other one I said last week, we talked about, hey, South Africa. They were like, where would you like to go visit? I was like, I'm not going to South Africa because that's just Australia. That's Australians settled there, like how Christopher Columbus did in America. And here we go.
Well, first off, South African, the Dutch.
Are you giving us the actual facts of how it was? Nobody cares. If you're watching this podcast, nobody gives a shit. Okay? You're very wrong. Speaking as a South African, it's important to know the history from the people that are from there. The same way I understand the history of the USA much more clearer after living and studying U.S. history in a U.S. high school, which was different to know I viewed the history of the U.S. before I went there. That's fine.
Cool.
Whoa. I didn't see this one. The people in the comments, oh my God, laughing face. As an Aussie, I can confirm this is 110% factual. Thank you for sharing our history, Michael. They get
they're taking claim.
They get it.
So you reached South Africa and you reached Australia.
Dude, one guy goes, I'm Australian, and this is the first I've ever heard of this. You're referring to Captain Cook, but your story is, as far as I know, is wrong. Why would you take over Africa when we had an indigenous black to exploit already here called
the Maori
or
Aboriginals?
Aboriginals, yes.
Maori's New Zealand. Sorry.
Wow, I had a hard time saying that sentence.
Aboriginals.
Okay. So here's the deal. Let's get in on it. I think the first one, okay, is going to be, we're going to go with the first clickbait one, and then this requires a little bit of acting from you. Okay? We're going to come in and be like, I'm going to go into dogs and be like, I had put my dog down and I was like, my buddy just told me about his dog getting old and it's starting, it can't see. And we're going to go into blind dogs, because dogs, when they get older, they go blind. But I'm going to go into how blind dogs, if a dog is blind, it should be put down.
I don't disagree.
Okay, so now you need to disagree.
Fine.
But very like, are you serious? Like, just like kind of like that. You'll know when to do it. Okay, so here we go. And this is the acting part, but this is the fun part. Ready? My buddy, his dog's getting older, and I have an experience with older dogs because I had to put my dog down a couple of years ago, and his dog is now he's thinking his dog is fully blind, and he's kind of just has to walk it, like, and just kind of really help him find places around his house. And I was thinking, I was like, dogs don't really know what's going on or what's happening to them because they don't learn. They really just they don't know like they're dying. Their body just breaks down. Like, so like when a dog goes blind, to me, he's suffering. Like if a dog's blind, they should be put down. All blind dogs need to be put down.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bro, if a dog's blind, it doesn't know that it's just like, I can't see all of a sudden. So now it's suffering and it needs to be put down.
Whoa. But like, okay. Have you not seen the videos about like the people with like blind dogs and they like, put something in front of their nose to like wake them up gently or stuff like that? They're like the happiest dogs.
I don't know. I get.
Or even the ones where like the deaf dogs. They sign like, hey, it's time to go for a walk.
Well, listen, if there's a deaf dog, that's different because a deaf dog could be deaf from the beginning from 2 years old. But like a blind dog, once it's going blind, that means it's old already. So it's already on its way out. Like, and now you're going to like let it live its last 2 years blind when it got to see its whole life. Put it down.
But I would argue that dogs love the sense of smell more than they do sight.
I just think, listen, man, if a dog is blind, it needs to be put down. And if you keep a dog alive after it's blind, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You're actually, you're at fault. That's kind of abuse. Keeping a dog alive that's blind is kind of abusive because, yeah.
How are you going to tell me it's an abuse? Like what is abusive about living while going blind?
Because a human can go blind and still comprehend what's happening. A human could be like, I went blind. I can't see, but I know what things look like and I remember what they are and where things are.
But you're telling me you can't put food in front of it and it won't be able to eat?
Sure, it will be able to eat, but it doesn't know where anything is. It doesn't know things.
A dog can't still sniff butts? Feel like the sun coming in through a window?
No, it just doesn't. It's suffering. It all of a sudden it thinks someone's blindfolding it, and it's sad.
I feel like you're basing this all off of like
a dog
bumping its head against the door trying to.
A dog is blind. If a dog is blind, it's suffering, and that's just where I think I think it needs to be put down. I think that's good.
Sure.
I think we got him. I think we could cut something there and we get him. Okay.
I thought you were going to win these arguments.
The point is just to, we cover our bases in case someone really attacks us hardcore. And
I feel like you're going to get attacked hardcore on this one.
Oh, yeah.
This.
But the best part about it.
This is worse than the Greeks.
Oh, yeah. Well, the best part about it is like, you just watch the podcast and you're like, oh, you don't even know what's going on. That's why I changed the description to a parody podcast.
Okay.
So it's like we're protected. Sure. Also, it is a joke. It's not like we believe. Also, even if someone does believe something, like they're allowed to. Yeah. But people will get so mad.
Oh, they're
livid.
I mean, I feel
this one's going to get people going.
I feel like the only thing that would make people madder is cats.
People love dogs more than cats.
Man.
Dude, dogs.
Cat people are psycho.
100%. Have you ever seen the documentary?
Don't fuck with cats?
It's really fucked up. But that one.
Super fucked up, but super scary.
Well, if you did don't fuck with puppies, bro, if he was doing that to puppies, bro, that guy, there would be a hit on him. That was like that.
Wait, is this guy still alive?
No. They got him. He went to prison and then I want to say he killed himself or something. No, or maybe he's in prison. But he ended up murdering someone. That was just the beginning. What they say, serial killers start with animals. That was so fucked up. But the thing is, it was done by investigating through the internet because cat people are pussies. If it was a dog, I swear to God, if it was a fucking puppy and you were suffocating a puppy in a bag like he did, I remember that part. I was like, I actually skipped over. I was like, I don't want to watch that part because the kitten was so adorable. But like, if you have a stomach for it, go see Don't Fuck with Cats. It's crazy. But if they did that to a dog, I mean, dude, they would have found that guy in a day. It took them a fucking month to track this guy down. Dude, a dog, you don't fuck with the dogs. And I mean, we'll see. Even just off this reaction, I guarantee you, if this goes on fucking TikTok, they'll try to cancel me.
Oh, 100%.
If this blows up on TikTok, they'll try to cancel. Which is, at this point, we're fine. Because that means we're proving our point with how crazy our society is. I don't know if this is everywhere. Well, it is everywhere because we're getting fucking Australians comment. Like, the internet has just like gave people a place to just be like, I'm the toughest person in the world. I don't give a fuck and I'm going to say what I want. And they don't even care what they're arguing about. Like even right now with some of my stand-up stuff going viral, the In Debt in Love bit. It's an old bit I used to do. You can check it out. It's called whether the girl's in love with you or loves you. What's the difference, right? People are arguing like, yeah, there is a difference. And I'm like, sure, there is a difference, but I'm acknowledging that and just making a funny analogy. And people are like yelling at each other in a clip about stand-up comedy of a joke. And they're like calling each other names, and I'm just like watching. Like I love that I'm in a free point of life to where I'm just like, all right, I don't care what people are saying now. I'm just watching fucking people argue about. There's people arguing about Brussels sprouts on a bit I posted about Brussels sprouts. Isn't that hilarious? What's wrong? The world's gone mad. The world's gone mad, and we're gonna make it matter. That's what we're gonna do, and not TTER, DDER. Matter. What? Is that not a word?
I was just trying to figure out
Matter, like matter, MATT.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so this is gonna be our last clickbait one, but I don't know where we'll go with this one, but the moon is flat. That was one. Unless like, how about this? Also, you guys comment if you want to comment ideas that are not too crazy. We're not doing anything about like. I don't want to do conspiracy theories because that's been done.
Can I give you my favorite conspiracy theory?
Sure. What is it?
It's the birds aren't real.
I've never heard that one.
I want you to go down that rabbit hole because the birds aren't real is hilarious.
Come on.
They believe like there's a group of people out there that believe like birds aren't real. They're just government spying robots. Because they're like, you never see birds in like old Renaissance paintings and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, when did birds happen?
You do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're not arguing here, but I'm just saying, go down that rabbit hole. I'm sure you're going to enjoy
People
it.
think birds aren't real?
Yes.
If someone thinks a bird's not real, that's someone I swear to God, if I was in the same room with them, I might have to fucking learn how to control my temper again. Dude, there's certain things that would make me, what's another thing? Here, what's another thing? Can I have you for a second before you?
Yep.
Another thing that really pisses me off. There's people that actually think the moon is real.
What?
Bro. They think the moon, like the moon's, you've only seen one side of the moon, right?
Hold on.
You've only seen one side of the moon. You only see the same side of the moon, but everywhere else you can see different parts of Mars. You can see different parts of the Earth because it's the Earth. I don't think the Earth is flat. I don't think any of the planets.
The moon is flat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the moon is flat. You only see one side of it. What?
So how do you explain like the like where you get like a crescent shape?
What do you mean?
When you see like not a quarter moon or in between a half moon and a full moon?
It's just, what do you mean? It's like, you mean when it's like that?
Yeah.
That's just the shadow of the Earth.
That you think that the shadow of the Earth is blocking the sun?
The Earth
is the curve of the Earth.
Yes. The Earth, bro. The Earth is a fucking sphere, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the sun is too, right?
Okay.
So when the sun is, dude, the moon gets its light from the sun. So when the Earth is in front of the moon a little bit, it creates that curvature. But it's flat. You only see the same side of the moon. Why do you see different sides of the sun? So you see different sides of the sun, don't you?
I'm not personally staring at the sun.
But it's everything is orbiting, and then the moon stays the same way.
And how are you gonna know when the sun is rotating? Because it's just a gigantic ball of flame. Come on.
That one's funny. I was thinking about like when do you remember when Ali G, the Ali G show, and he was just like, and he was talking to Buzz what's his name?
Buzz Aldrin.
He's like, yo, check it. Like, well, why isn't it we ever landed on the sun? And like he was like, what? He's like, how come we've never tried to land on the sun? Like that was one of my favorite Ali G moments.
And his response was, why isn't we in it? We didn't land on the sun. You just go at night. That's why.
Yeah. God, that one's funny. Oh, the moon one will drive people crazy.
Yeah.
Because it kind of made sense what I was saying. You do only see one side. When you tried to throw me off with saying the curve, and I go, and then I had a good argument.
You gave me a good
right?
rush. I was like, good on you for thinking on your feet. I'm proud of you.
And you only see one side of the fucking. You do only see one side of the moon.
You know why?
I actually don't know why.
It's because
how come
it's rotating around us?
The moon is.
Yeah, it's our gravitational pull.
So, but let's say the sun doesn't only see one side of the Earth.
Okay. Well,
because
let's
we're spinning.
say you put like a weight at the end of a string.
Okay.
And you spin it around.
Yeah.
Like basically, like that's your gravity, right?
Yeah.
And then if you were to remove that string, but it still stayed in that gravity, you're going to be still getting that same spot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the same for all the planets. Like Jupiter only sees the same side of all their moons.
That's what I'm saying. So know enough.
So moons don't orbit or spin.
I don't know.
They don't spin on an axle. Obviously, planets do.
Well, we're kind of. You got to imagine that
because we're on an axle and we're spinning.
No. So really, what's happening is our sun is hurtling through space, and we're all spiraling the drain.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good way. And that's happening hundreds of billions of times with other suns. Trillions. Yeah. And that's deep, guys.
So deep.
Okay, so this is Wednesday. If you're watching this episode, this is Wednesday. If you're watching this episode, that means I posted today. I posted the dog one already. Actually, I don't know which one. Whichever one I think is better, I'm posting. Whether it's the moon, the moon one I think is actually funny. Whichever one, if you're watching this episode, go check them out. There will be on YouTube Shorts. It will be on the Life with Lenoci podcast Instagram, or it's on the Life with Lenoci pod Twitter, Twitch. Which the Twitch is hard to get the following going. So if you do have TikTok. If you have TikTok, go to Life with Lenoci pod and follow that so we can get that one going more. But I think they'll hit off more on the YouTube shorts.
Can I throw in something real quick? If you've made it this far in the podcast, throw up a thumbs up emoji in the comments just so we know that you've made it here. And then you actually are fully in the bit.
Oh yeah. I want to know that you guys are in on the bit with us. Go to how about
just
you
put
just
it in the comments.
How about just on the short, because it's on the YouTube short, just comment here for the bit. Like if people start doing that, like that's what will be funny if it gets big enough where people are they're commenting like, you idiot, this is a parody. That'll be great. Okay, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. Again, if you have suggestions for clickbaits, let us know. Write them in, comment, or tell me what to do, and we'll see you guys next week. And check out the Patreon. Again, when we get to 10 Patreon members, we will start doing little bonuses for the podcast, and putting out the episode a few days earlier for those people who are members, and you'll get a producer credit. And I think it's only $5. So check it out, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.